Happy morning, children. Welcome back to social science class. This is class 6, term 1, social science, what is history, part 2 video. Shall we start, children? Come, children, let us learn about prehistory. Do you know, children, what is prehistory? The period between the use of first stone tools and the invention of writing systems is called prehistory. Stone tools, excavated materials, and rock paintings are the major sources of prehistory. Is it clear, children? See this map, children. This map shows some major Indian excavation sites. What is excavation sites? Excavation sites are the sites, that is, places where the objects used by the people of the past are excavated. Most of these objects are dug from the ground. See this picture? This is an excavation site. Here, Paleolithic is the Old Stone Age. These are the stone tools used during Paleolithic Age, that is, Old Stone Age. This is Neolithic Age. Neolithic Age is New Stone Age. See these pictures? These are the tools used during Neolithic Age. Bronze Age is the period where the tools are made by bronze. Iron Age is the period where the tools are made by iron. Next, let us see about sources. Sources are a place, person, text or object from which some data, that is, information can be obtained. We have two types of sources. They are archaeological sources and literary sources. What are the two types of sources of history, children? Archaeological sources and literary sources. Children, here is the two sources of history. What are the two sources of history? Archaeological sources and literary sources. In archaeological sources, we have coins, monuments, inscriptions, artifacts. In literary sources, we have secular literature and religious literature. Is it clear, children? Come, let us see about the archaeological sources and literary sources. Artifacts are archaeological sources. Okay, children? The things that archaeologists find during excavation are called artifacts. These are the things used by the people of the past. See, potteries, next, toys, tools, and ornaments. Okay, so artifacts are potteries, toys, tools, and ornaments. Next, archaeological sources is inscriptions. Inscriptions are nothing but they are the writings engraved on rocks, temple wall, metal pillars and copper plates. They provide lot of information about king's rule, people and society. Come children, let us see some of the inscriptions. Inscriptions found on rock edicts, temple wall inscription, then metal pillar. Okay. Next, archaeological sources monument. Monuments are historical buildings like Thirumalai Nayakar Palace, Vellur Fort, Tanjavur Brihadishwarar Temple, Sanchi Stupa, monastery like Tabang. Next, archaeological sources coin. Coins were issued by the rulers during different periods. Children, we have two types of literary sources. They are secular literature and religious literature. First, let us see about secular literature. Secular literature are epics and poems like Shakuntala, then account by foreign travelers like Fahin, Vasco da Gama, Marco Polo, Then works by Indian author like Tirukural by Thiruvalluvar. Next, folk songs and ballads. Religious literature are epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Manimekalai. Devotional literature are Devaram, Nalayara Divya Prabandham, and Tiruvasakam. So, children, archaeological sources like coins, artifacts, inscriptions, monuments, and literary sources like accounts of foreigners or foreign travelers and folk tales play a vital role in constructing and reconstructing history. See this picture, children. Who is this? Good, a mighty emperor Ashoka. The most famous ruler of ancient India was Emperor Ashoka. Ashoka gave up war after seeing many people grieving death after the Kalinga War. He embraced Buddhism and then devoted his life to spread the message of peace and dharma. He was the first ruler to give up war after victory. He was the first to build hospitals for animals. He was the first to lay roads. Ashoka Chakra with 24 spokes in our national flag was taken from the Sharnath pillar of Ashoka. Is it clear, children? Even though Emperor Ashoka was great, his greatness had been unknown until 19th century. The material evidences provided by William Jones, James Friendship, and Alexander Cunningham reveal the greatness of Emperor Ashoka. Okay. Based on these accounts, Charles Allen wrote a book titled The Search for the India's Lost Emperor. Many researchers made thereafter brought Ashoka's glorious route to light. These inscriptions were observed on the rocks of Sanchi Stupa and Sharnath Pillar and helped to understand the greatness of Ashoka to the world. Now we can understand the importance of historical research. Is it clear? So children, today we are leading a safe life with all modern equipments. But our ancestors did not live in such a safe environment. There might have been chances of wild animals entering their caves, but they realized that dogs could help them to prevent the entry of dangerous animals by its sniffing skills. Hence, they started domesticating dogs for their protection and hunting activities. See, these are the pictures which shows the hunting activities and domesticated of dogs by the early humans. Now, let's see the conclusion, children. History is the study of past events in chronological order. The lifestyles of prehistoric people can be understood from the stone tools, rock paintings, fossils, and other excavated materials. Greatness of Ashoka came to light by historical research done by the scholars. Proto-history is the period between prehistory and history. Early humans domesticated dogs for their protection and hunting activities. Okay, children, please go through the lesson and revise well. Now I think you all understood what is history. Is it right? Thank you, children. Bye bye. We will meet in the next class.